Okay,
I'm shrinking it down a little.
we're here in Kingston at the county building. Could you introduce yourselves and tell us what happened today?
Sure, I'm
And look at the camera.
Michael Trainer
Mm-hmm.
of Neville Investors LLC. We purchased the Neville Hotel today.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Carlson, I'm the town supervisor, town of Warsing, where
Okay.
the Beverly's located.
And what was happening? The Neville had been for sale for a while, or
Property was closed over 2 years ago.
Mhm.
We purchased it, and the expectation is that we will redevelop that as a destination resort. We're hoping to be able to include gaming as one of the activities at the property.
Mhm.
We're working very hard to make that happen. We're doing that in coordination with county and local officials, including Scott.
so you're looking for a license from New York State
We
for
are.
gambling?
We
It's
will.
my understanding that, and I just want to make sure that my timeline is the same, is that the earliest it could happen is in 2 years. Is that what you?
November of 2013, so a little less than 2 years. There'll be a statewide vote by the people of the state of New York. It's expected that that will pass. That will pave the way to non-tribal gaming in the state.
Are you going to still keep calling it the Neville, or is it going to have a new name?
No plans in that regard. The Neville's has a lot of history
Right.
and a lot of name recognition. It's likely that we'll want to keep that, but we may slightly change the name. We may change the name. Not sure yet.
And can you tell us what the purchase price was?
Sure, it was approximately $2 million.
And how many rooms is it in the Neville right now?
About 450 rooms.
They're
It's
all-
closed.
Are there still going to be 450 rooms? Is there going to be?
The plan is to redevelop it initially with 450 rooms, the exact same number of rooms as there are.
So it's going to be full renovation?
A lot of demolition and some renovation.
Okay, and were there any other interested parties, or were you the only one?
Sure, there were a bunch of people that came. We had a trial here in this building in Kingston. There were a number of bidders that were interested in acquiring the property. There continue to be a number of people interested in purchasing the property, and but we believe that we were successful because our plan is the best for the property. Makes the most sense.
And you just closed today, just this afternoon?
Moments ago, yeah.
Okay, and that happened here in this building?
Well, it happens with the title company in Albany, New York. It doesn't really happen. I guess the deeds will be recorded in this building at some point. So.
And Supervisor, do you have any comments on this?
Well,
deal?
just a day we've been looking forward to since the trial. Judge Work had ruled for this group to purchase the Neville.
Mm-hmm.
Neville's been closed for many years,
Mhm.
and our town has taken a job loss hit of over several thousand jobs. And we lost all our manufacturing, and then our last big resort hotel, and so this could be exciting news. The possibility of getting 1,000 jobs back, and there'll be development at the Neville of some sort. There'll be local money spent. Taxes get paid today. Back wages are in the process of being paid, and there'll be activity at the Neville in terms of fixing up the grounds a bit, mowing the grass, fixing the fencing, and that's all money coming back into the local economy. So, I look at any job as a good day, any new
Can
job.
you just talk to me for a second? You say that back taxes are being paid and back wages are being paid. Was that part of the bankruptcy proceeding that you had to pay?
No, the offer that we made to purchase the property was structured to repay back property taxes and to make partial payment of amounts owed to former employees at the property. So it was structured that way in the court order that was issued by Judge Work. Required that, but we had offered that.
And tell us a little bit about the purchaser. Is it a company? What's the company's name?
Sure,
and
the purchaser
background on it?
Purchaser is Neville Investors LLC. It's owned by a company called Claremont Partners Limited, which is based principally in the UK. We have institutional individual investors, and we focus on early stage gaming opportunities worldwide. We have projects in Asia and North America.
Okay.
All gaming.
Okay.
Now, so what happens between now and 2013, or I guess 2014, 2013, when the license or gaming is approved, non-tribal gaming is approved?
So there's two principal things that need to happen. One is we need to do pre-development work so that the property is ready to be opened for gaming. That's license, zoning and building approvals, etc. There's also the process of lobbying in Albany to be awarded a license, which is it's a process that involves not just my partners and myself, but local officials and the residents of Warwick, Ellenville, and Ulster County.
And so then what happens if you don't get the license? What happens to the Neville?
I'm not sure what happens. It could be redeveloped as a resort, but our cost estimates indicate it would be more than $40 million to do that, and I believe that would be cost prohibitive for anybody to do it. And if you're not going to redevelop it as a resort, maybe you chop it up and sell it off as homes, but that certainly isn't the highest and best use for that property. It's the crown jewel of the Catskills region, or it had been for 50 years. So that would be sad.
What are the significant points that differentiate your offer from the other offers that didn't make it?
Well, I think it's really the team. We've got the executives of Claremont that are running the project have over 50 years of gaming experience. And Larry Wolf, who's one of the partners in the project, developed the MGM Grand for Kirk Kerkorian many years ago, at the time the largest casino hotel in the world. And we worked on projects worldwide, all gaming projects. And so we have the expertise and we have the financial backing to make it happen.
And what are you doing in terms of PR to help the people of New York State to actually be interested in passing a proposition?
Well, we don't feel that we have to spend too much time educating on a statewide basis, educating people on gaming, because the governor and legislature are pretty minded to make that happen. And so, as a policy matter, the governmental leadership seems to be very focused on making sure that passes. So the issue for us is how does Ulster County and town of Warwick get in on the action, and how do we get a gaming license for our property? So that's where we'll have to spend time. We have a PR firm and we have other means of trying to do that.
And who is that PR firm?
Frank Marino in New York.
Okay.
Because my understanding is there will only be 7 licenses awarded statewide. Is that your understanding?
Up to 7 is
seven.
what's been stated, and there's been no indication yet as to where those licenses would be issued.
And how do you feel about gaming in the town of Warwick?
I think having sat through the trial, it appeared to be the only business plan that was going to work for the Neville. And I believe the judge agreed that the costs of bringing the Neville back were so high and prohibitive to any other use, including just a simple resort. The numbers just simply aren't there.
And you expect it to produce, when it's completely up and running, 1,000 jobs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the best guess right now, based on the available information, is that the facility would be sized to around 450 rooms, and with the amenities that we would expect to have, including gaming, 1,000 employees is a reasonable estimate for the number of direct jobs. And of course, as indirect jobs, it will be created as well in the community.
And those indirect jobs would include the construction jobs that are going to be needed
Most
to
definitely.
bring the Neville up to.
Yeah, the construction jobs would be huge, for the area. We haven't seen anything like that in many, many years.
How long has the Neville been closed?
It closed in July of 2009.
What is its current state of repair or disrepair?
Disrepair. It's suffering from extreme neglect, and much of the property is not salvageable. It must be demolished and rebuilt.
How long do you expect that process to take, the reconstruction and the renovation?
Would typically take, based on our initial plans, it's a kind of a 2-year redevelopment plan, but it would be phased so that we could open up some parts of the resort sooner than other parts.
Do you anticipate that it will be open before gaming, or is it
No.
designed to coincide?
When we hope we will be awarded a license. At the time that we know that we are awarded the license, we would immediately begin the work to open up the property bit by bit, phased reopening.
So just so I'm clear, you've closed on the deal today. I'm sorry. You've closed on the deal today. You don't anticipate putting any money into it between now and when you get the gaming license?
Into the property, no. Into the pre-development plans and the lobbying and the other activities that that are required. I mean, keep in mind, we'd like to have two things in November of 2013. We'd like to be awarded a gaming license, and we'd like to be ready to go. So to be ready to go, we have a lot of legal and engineering and agencies and all that stuff that needs to be attended to, and in order to be in a position to be shovel ready, and of course we have to work to get ourselves a gaming license.
Well, I think the other thing is, as I mentioned before, the plans that Mr. Trainer's been very open about from day one. The property's going to have a security. Somebody's going to have to perform security there. They will fix the fence. They may do some work to secure some of the buildings from further deterioration. Repair some drainage problems. There was considerable damage caused by the back-to-back storms last summer, and then keeping the grass mowed, which is a nice uplift to the property, because it looked pretty bad when the grass was allowed to just grow wild. So that's money that'll be immediately in the local economy.
How many acres you got on that site?
It's just shy of 500 acres.
And will you be seeking any tax incentives or any economic development funding?
No, the plan is to, if we're awarded a license, the plan is to not rely at all on any sort of public monies or assistance. We'll build our project and we'll get going. We'll put a lot of people to work, and we hope create a lot of economic activity in that part of the county.
But in the interim, between now and when you are or are not awarded the license, are you going to be paying full taxes, or do you have any abatements in there?
Full taxes.
Texas.
Full taxes.
Do you expect any stiff competition from Native American interests in the area?
I'm not expecting it from Native American interests. Yeah, I am expecting that Monticello is going to be moving forward with its plans for a destination resort over on that side of the county, of the Catskills in Sullivan County, and so that will be the principal competitive property to what we're trying to do. I would expect would be a Monticello area resort.
And county executive here, Mike Heine, has he been working closely with your group?
Very. He's been terrific. He and his staff, so from day one, have helped pave the way to get us to where we are right now. And I'm sure that will continue.
Will you require any zoning changes or other special permits, use permits, that sort of thing? And where's the town in terms of providing that?
We'll certainly work with the Nevele to review all of that. Purchasing group has a team in place with engineers and specialists in environmental and traffic and
Does
lots
your
of special
zoning
things.
allow for it?
Well, the zoning obviously wouldn't allow for gaming, because there's
Okay.
there's no gaming in New York. That would be something we'll certainly work on.
The 2-year hiatus would require a full planning review.
We don't believe so. It just depends on the plans and how they use the original footprint of the resort and size and things like that. But we'll work, our planning boards certainly work with the planners of the Nevele on that.
We styled this as a redevelopment. This isn't new construction. This is styled as a restoration of the property back to its kind of former status as the principal property on the eastern edge of the Catskills. So it's a adaptive reuse is kind of what they call it, not a new development.
Okay, it looks like I'm done here. I gotta let this guy in now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the
Good to see you again. Is it Robert?